Julien Laverdiere's tribute in light is etched in the forever changed skyline of New York. Milton Glazer's I Love New York, one of the most successful ad campaigns, is credited in part with the rebirth of a great city in the mid-1970s. And Chuck Hoberman, an inventor, creates movable sculptures of Olympic proportion, as seen here at the 2002 Salt Lake City Games. What do they all have in common? They're all graduates of the Cooper Union, a school dedicated to creating leaders in the worlds of science and art. Cooper Union is located in the heart of New York City, and the tuition is free. It's one of the most difficult schools in the country to get into.
We get 2,500 applicants for roughly 200 slots in any given year. We are ranked #1 among all institutions of higher education in terms of selectivity.
Dr. George Campbell, Jr. is Cooper Union's president.
Our goal here is to produce graduates who are not only exceptional professionals, but who also exemplify creativity and are leaders, not only professionally, but leaders in terms of human values.
Founder Peter Cooper believed that the object of life is to do good. So in 1859, the inventor and industrialist invested much of his fortune to create a school that would be available to anyone of merit, regardless of race, ethnic background, or economic status.
Thomas Edison, of course, is an alumnus. Joshua Lionel Cowan, who developed the Lionel trains, was a graduate. Dan Libeskind came out of Cooper Union's School of Architecture. Alex Katz, world-renowned painter, is a graduate.
It isn't easy to pinpoint one aspect of Cooper Union that makes it such a vibrant place to learn. It's really a combination of things: the philosophy, the location, the teachers, facilities, and gifted students.
Nobody takes their stay here for granted. Having come here and having been given a rather extraordinary opportunity to learn with a complete scholarship, there is a sense of responsibility about fulfilling the rewards of that scholarship.
Milton Glaser graduated from the art school and is considered by many to have put American graphic design on the map.
Cooper was extremely important in my own development as a practitioner. It wasn't really focused on the idea of getting a job and having a career as much as it was on the idea that you could accomplish something that would at least potentially change the nature of society.
Cooper Union's 3 schools, art, architecture, and engineering, are tied together with a common thread: the idea of working with your hands. The shop at Cooper Union is where art and technology converge. Artists stand side by side with architects and engineers to build, sculpt, and cut and pour new ideas into being. Cooper Union is noted for being unconventional. Nowhere is that more apparent than in its architectural school, where the approach is spiritual and intellectual.
I studied English before I came to Cooper Union, and I was really interested in the way they taught architecture here, in that they really, you can look at architecture through literature or through art or through music.
As a first-year student, every member of the class was assigned an artist, and I in particular was assigned John Cage. He's a musician, and so the assignment was to create a space in the spirit of this artist. I worked with the mass of these 3 cubes, and from them I added and subtracted other elements to create this space so that it can be experienced purely through sound.
How does this approach differ from other schools? Associate Dean of Architecture Elizabeth O'Donnell explains.
At Cooper, students are really encouraged and are expected to reimagine the possibilities of building. I can think of the work of Elizabeth Diller and Ricardo Scofidio, architects practicing really on the edges of architecture.
The colors are terrific, too.
Robert Rindler is Dean of the Art School.
Cooper Union is a school that's unique among other art schools in that the students here are really admitted because of their fierce independence. These students all have their own studios here. They know each other. They work together. They learn what it is to be the member of a functioning creative community.
Of course, the real proof of any school's program lies in the accomplishments of its graduates. Some of the most engaging work in graphic design in the United States is being done by Cooper graduate Stephen Doyle. And at Martha Stewart Living, we benefit greatly from his creativity.
Martha, welcome to the Cooper Union School of Engineering. By the way, I loved your recipe last week.
At Cooper Union, engineers just are not stereotypical. These friendly creatures are used by 2 engineering students for the study of robotics. Cooper Union's engineering school is unique because students are treated as future colleagues. They work on real-life projects in the classroom. Lee Kim is working on minimally invasive techniques for knee surgery.
Currently, what doctors do is they make a big incision across the knee and strip away the bones that's not needed. What we are trying to work on is make an incision only big enough for this drill to go through. And doctors will just look at the screen. So the screen becomes the eyes for the doctor, and it becomes a virtual surgery.
It is this next generation of engineers, artists, and architects whose talents and enlightened designs will shape the 21st century.